Welcome to Dr. Mary Travel Best's 5 Steps to Solo Travel Guide for people like you who need extra support traveling, one at a time. Please share the memories we help you create and tell a friend about them. We welcome your feedback and travel questions. Here's the FAQ. Can I fly to Mexico from the Tijuana airport? The travel misstep, parking at CBX was full. The lesson for the day, more packing light tips. And let's talk about the destination. The special episode is border crossings into Mexico. I'm going to tell you a story. So question is, can you fly to Mexico from the Tijuana airport? And the answer is yes. There's something called the Cross-Border Express Terminal, CBX for short. It allows you to fly from the USA to Mexico and other countries by walking across the border. There is a fee to do this, and there are taxes on your airline tickets that are above the cost of the fares, so just be aware of this. If your ticket says TJX, you have already paid the CBX fee. Otherwise, you'll have to pay for it at the airport. So, CBX. I took it on a trip to Costa Rica via Mexico City in 2016, again to Puerto Vallarta in 2022, and I'm doing it again in 2025. The airport opened in 2015, and millions of people use it yearly. So I'm going to talk more about crossing the border. For over 50 years, I've crossed borders countless times worldwide and in dozens of countries, traveling solo or with a friend. So we're going to talk about more border crossings, especially into Mexico. My most recent crossing was from Tijuana, Mexico to San Diego, back and forth. At approximately 30 million yearly crossings, it's possibly the busiest border crossing globally. And here's a story from October 2024 when I crossed the border back into the USA. Now, this was the first time I was allowed in the medical line, even though it was not for medical reasons. It's kind of a shortcut. There's 27 lanes that bring you to the regular crossing to the US, but this crossing had a small time advantage. Now, the last few times I had crossed into the US, I'd waited in the regular lines for about 4 hours. So think of that times thousands of people every hour. So during the hours I waited in line, often for many hours, I was treated to many vendors selling food, beverages, cookies, etc. I've even been offered puppies. The news report from Fox 5, however, says that the medical lane has been temporarily suspended, and the show notes have details. Now here's what happened on my trip. I rolled down the window, and in Spanish I asked, "How many churros can I get for $20? And a vendor told me, "How many?" And the car moved forward, but the vendor knew the car. So 5 minutes later, the churros arrived, warm and delicious. And then another delivery came. And finally, surprisingly enough, it was a third delivery of bags of churros. It was a massive amount of churros, and we were stuffed. We had been volunteering at the Door of Faith Orphanage in La Misión, Mexico, just north of Ensenada, about 90 minutes into Mexico. You can check the show notes for more about the orphanage. Now, if you're headed into Mexico, I hope you have a safe visit. Obey the laws, and if you speak some Spanish, that will likely be helpful. And now, a travel misstep. Parking at CBX was full. Ooh, no. It was a holiday weekend in the USA, President's Week, and I did not think the CBX airport would be full. But the parking lots had no room for my car. It was hot when I found street parking about a half a mile away, and I was afraid I would miss my flight. So I parked, and then I found an Uber to drive me to the terminal. For all 3 days, I was hoping my car would not be towed away. It was not. Everything was fine when I returned. But next time, I will make a parking reservation, just in case. Now, the tip of the day. More packing light tips for your airplane. Packing cubes. Have you used them? Decompress and organize your items in your suitcase. If you pack them tightly and squeeze them into your backpack or your bag, it'll help. If it's a small pack, you can use it as a personal item and put it under the seat in front of you. My full backpack. Yes, it cost me less than $30, and so I bought a second one. That's right, the same bag. Ask me about the personal item and how to pack it if you want further advice. I want to bring meaning to your future travel, so sign up for the Dr. Travel Best newsletter, and we can connect on my websites and all the social media. You can also find the book, 5 Steps to Solo Travel. It's a book and audio series on Amazon, and show notes have more details.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travel Best, that is.